I check my front tooth, I ain't telling the truth. I'm not making excuses, I know it's alarming. I think I've come down with something. These are not ruses, I'm not telling lies. I might die, I'm not making excuses.
First, it is the first day of the Mexican holiday, Day of the Dead. And this week is also the final week before clock switch back, an hour on Friday. Now for the Montclair area, class registration starts this Thursday, November 3rd, and ends on November 10th. Be sure you know when to register for your upcoming semester. And as we know, and you mentioned, yesterday was Halloween, and we at Montclair celebrated with the annual Rocky Ween. This year, our favorite bird family were dressed as Wizard of Oz, and I hope that everyone got to see them and grab the candy that they were handing out. And as well, just announced like last night, Montclair will be separating the College of Education and Human Services into two separate areas: the College of Education and Learning and the College of Community Health. This will go into play July 1st, 2023. Today's weather is a high of 67 with 80% humidity, and it has 5 miles an hour wind. It's pretty warm out for the November.
Pretty warm. It is pretty warm. I remember literally all these other years. Remember when we had Halloween and we had to like wear t-shirts under our costume?
Yes,
because it was so cold on Halloween. Like, this is the warmest Halloween we had in a while. But thank you so much, Riley, for that lovely newscast. X, what's going on in the sports world today?
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our sports section. Today, we got to go over Monday Night Football as it is Tuesday. Monday Night Football last night was played in Cleveland, Ohio, and the Browns showed that they got the dogs in them, literally. The opponents that they played against were the Cincinnati Bengals, who were coming off a last week win and were looking like the better team. Almost everybody had them picked, but that was not the case of last night. That was exactly the opposite, because the Bengals offense did not show up, and the Browns defense whipped them into shape, 32-13. The Cleveland defense put up 5 sacks and had an interception. In MLB news, Game 3 of the big game in MLB was rained out last night and will be played today instead. So shout out to the Phillies and Astros. Good luck. That series is tied 1-1. In NBA news, the biggest game in the association last night had to be the Clippers versus the Houston Rockets. It was an all-time high intensity game all the way down to the last minute, which ended with a Paul George last-second jump shot to win the game for the Clippers. Paul George was on a mission to carry his team to the win, and his stat line read 35 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists, and 6 steals. In Montclair State news, our men's soccer team beat the City College of New York City 5-0. And the boys will be taking on Rutgers Camden tonight. Shout out to the boys. Go get that dub.
Go Birds. Or go Red
Go
Hawks.
Birds.
Go Phils. Thank you, X. For
Go
that.
Birds, go Phils.
Go Phils. Go.
Oh, not the mic.
There goes the mic. Go
Not the
Mike.
mic. Go Mike.
Go Foley.
Go Foley. Mike Foley.
Mike Foley's our engineer, everyone. But anyways, thank you, y'all. Moving on into our first story of the day. We got some politics going on because the midterm closing arguments are happening right now, and the fate of the world rests on economic fears as per usual. With an important midterm election underway, New Jersey voters are making their choices at a time where the state's monthly unemployment rate has dropped near to historic lows. The strong job numbers, combined with the recent news that the nation's gross domestic product, or GDP, grew ahead of expectations during the past quarter, have been welcomed by Democrats who currently hold a majority in New Jersey's congressional seats. President Joe Biden said on social media in response to the latest GDP report, quote, "Our economy has created 10 million jobs, unemployment is at a 50-year low, and U.S. manufacturing is booming." However, for the past several weeks, it's been the Republicans on the offensive when it comes to talking about the state of the economy. Playing a leading role in the GOP's messaging are concerns of national inflation rate that has routinely been running at our near historic highs in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. And while gas prices in New Jersey have been dropping in recent months despite an ongoing overseas war, they remain higher on average than the prices motorists were paying a year ago. Shout out to those gas prices being low, y'all. That really helped my pockets. But obviously, like, a main concern coming out of the pandemic especially is going to be economic concerns, just because I feel like though we've been making really great strides, I think as regular citizens it's been hitting us the most in like the working class, normal, maybe low class as well, have been feeling the brunt of inflation going up and down and these gas prices and things like that. So it's like normal fears that all these closing arguments are going to be like, so what are you going to do with our money? Because that's literally what it is all the time. But it's a valid concern, especially since everything has been so up and down. But it looks like we are seeing some improvements. I mean, that's honestly a toss-up depending on what side that you're on. But
I mean, definitely, one thing that we can all ask for is that we are getting more jobs out there, and
exactly,
and the job market is, booming technically, because there are more jobs, and unemployment being at a low is fantastic because it was high for a while.
Exactly, it was
very
super
high
for a while. So like we want to elect officials that are going to keep us financially secure and feeling secure in our own financial standing and being within the state in particular. So which is a good reason why it's important for people to read up on these issues, read up on candidates if you feel like if this is something that you're interested in, because right now it's voting time. So
it's a good reason for people to vote.
It's a good reason for people to vote. Of course, do your due diligence to society, as they say, but
due diligence.
I don't know, be proper citizens and things like that. But it's never not important to be knowledgeable on your candidates.
Oh, for sure.
So
I wish I was more knowledgeable on my candidates.
Real.
Because sometimes I just don't.
Sometimes I think these elections sneak up on like people in general, like me. Every time it's like, oh, it's election time, and I'm like, what?
You're like, what do you mean it's election time? I thought I just voted.
I literally just voted 4 years ago.
Yeah, and
I always forget there's like other elections going on, and I feel like that becomes more apparent as we get older, because I know for sure when I was 18, it was the 2020 election anyway, so that was the first thing I voted for. And after that I was like, okay, wait 4 years now.
You're like, cool, what's next? But that's the best thing, is that it's not waiting 4 years. There's so many other things to vote for, like the midterms, and which are very much here, and things like that. And
you know who makes it really apparent? People on campus. On Montclair State's campus, we have like voting little events and things like that where people help you register to vote. And when I see them on campus, I was like, okay, that when you start seeing them pack up or start putting the booths out and stuff, I was like, all right, it's time. It's time to figure it out. So.
Exactly. And, you know, people are starting to get their absentee ballots because, you know, we are a college campus. So there are plenty of people that are out of state or just out of their county.
Right.
So, and we do have spots on campus where people can put their absentee ballot in when they're done.
That's
actually
true.
filling it
I
out.
think there's a box in front of Machuga Hall.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there's one next to Machuga
Yeah.
Hall. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's a second one somewhere, but I'm not quite
There
sure
is
what
a
that
second
I think
one.
it might be on the Freeman side of campus,
Probably.
Freeman Hall.
So they have
But-
somewhere to go, but
Yeah. So if
yeah.
our MSU people, there is one outside of Machuga if you are interested.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's our little midterm closing argument
yeah.
update. I think there's a little some going on with the Secretary of State.
There's a lot going on with, you know, voting futures and the Secretary of State because it is just that time of year.
Right.
So the New Jersey Secretary of State had a voting futures text messages containing voter misinformation.
Ugh.
Confusing text messages labeled by the New Jersey Secretary of State as misinformation were sent to voters, and this comes as voters across the state headed out this past weekend for in-person early voting. It set a new record at 10 locations throughout Monmouth County. But text messages sent yesterday by the group Voting Futures caused some confusion. The group says they sent images of drop boxes in early voting locations, which some voters may have confused with their election day polling locations. Secretary of State Tahisha Way says that the texts are misinformation. Way wrote in a statement, quote, voters should know that your state and county election officials are the best source for trusted, verified information about our elections. We strongly caution voters against relying upon unverified sources when making a plan to vote, end quote. Similar texts went out to voters in Kansas, Illinois, North Carolina, and Virginia. Hamlin says, quote, we do want everyone to go out and vote. We also try our best to cut down on misinformation every single year. End quote. And information being correct is so important for things like this because, like we had just said, oh, there's a ballot box by Machuga. That is correct information. Because if you're telling people the wrong information, then they're not doing things correctly. They're not voting correctly, and their vote then won't count.
Exactly.
And off of a country that's literally based on everybody getting to vote.
Yeah.
And everybody getting a say in what
very
happens.
democratic.
It's not democratic. It's not fair. Yeah, I think misinformation being spread is something that is very important because, you know, we need to make sure that people are getting the correct information so they can do everything correctly.
For sure. And I feel like when you're in a position here where you're supposed to keep future voters informed, that's literally the whole name of your organization is Voting Futures. You should proofread your information. You should probably really fact check it and make sure you're giving people the right information, just because it seems sketchy and it was probably a slip up and stuff like that, because stuff happens, people make mistakes and things like that. But to people who are interested in voting and are reliant on these things and they are all of a sudden like deemed misinformation and things like that, and they like handle their messages with not that as much care, then it deters people from wanting to vote, especially to our young voters. Exactly, because they don't know everything and they rely on texts like that. I know personally, I look at my texts, and young voters, you know, our phones are our lifelines. Exactly. And text messages being sent is how we're going to pay attention to information. And for it to be wrong, then there's all these young voters, the future voters for the Voting Futures, and they're not getting correct information to do these things right, that's why these things are so important. Like, if you're going to send out a message that important, you should be making sure that it's proofread, it's confirmed. You should have about 3 or 4 people confirming that. Exactly. Because I just feel like that's not a hard ask. And I feel like that's something we often see in a lot of things that go out into the media world. Just people don't proofread their stuff. They don't fact check their stuff. And now I hope this doesn't impact what those people who receive those messages feel about voting now, just because they probably signed on to this messaging service thinking, they'll let me know where I need to go. And now it's just like, oh, I guess they're not letting me know the proper way or proper place to go. And that's, I guess, I tried. You know what I mean? Like, if it were me, it's just like, oh, I'd hang up the hat. Yeah. And as somebody who works in social media, like, I know the importance of like making sure that the correct information is coming out and that everything is true. And
and in my case, like I do socials for the station, like so it's not as important as like voting, but still nonetheless. But I literally always, if I'm not sure about something, unless I'm 100% positive about something,
Right.
if I'm not sure, I'm double checking, I'm triple checking. I go to whoever requested the thing. Oh, this is correct, right? Oh, or this, that, and the other thing. Like I always do that. And I don't think, and that's just like one thing that's so important to the job.
Right. And I feel that going off of that, though, like you were saying, we're not New York Times, but at the
Mhm.
same time, like we're a form of journalism at the end of the day, and that
Yeah.
goes all the way down to our social media, which you do so
Yeah.
greatly, and it's because you have to fact check those things
Mhm.
and making sure that our audience is receiving the proper
Yeah.
thing. It's the same thing between journalism and just telling people to vote. It's just
Exactly.
the same thing all around.
If a college student can do it correctly, these adults that are in a
Right.
profession
It's not that serious.
should be able to do
It's
it.
a little,
I don't know. Maybe that's just me,
I think I
but-
agree with you.
but I think it's just the way that the wind
I
blows.
agree. And I think the wind is blowing us to a break. We
I
gotta
think
keep
so too.
I think so too.
I
We have
think
to
it's
keep the
time.
lights on here at the Morning Buzz, but we'll be super, super quick. I know you'll miss us, but here's a little break for you.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
Music is as cool as space, in my opinion. But anyways, welcome back to the Morning Buzz. We just went on a cute little break, but now we're back talking about more stuff. We talked a lot about college and what it's like to be a college student a little bit in our last story, but we have even a bigger thing to talk about in terms of college. This particular university has rose in higher education rankings. Can anyone take a guess at who this university is?
I'm gonna guess it's the one that we're at right now, but I could be wrong.
I think
It could be our neighbors.
survey says that it is us, Montclair State University.
Really? It's not Willie P?
Of course not, Gabi. No disrespect to Willie P. But
No.
go Red Hawks. Anyways, Montclair State University's reputation is growing and the leading higher education rankings are taking notice. Montclair has received 2 top 100 rankings, including number 7 in the world in a critical research metric in U.S. News and World Report's 2022 Best Global Universities rankings, which highlight 2,000 institutions worldwide. The U.S. News rankings showcase the university's growing research footprint and global impact. Montclair State ranks number 7 in the world's normalized citation impact, which means the average number of the times a research paper is cited in other works, along with being number 93 in the percentage of papers that are among the top 1% cited in their respective fields. Overall, the university rose to 159 spots to number 1008 in the 2022 rankings. Montclair has also been ranked number 90 in the nation among more than 1,500 institutions in Washington Monthly's 2022 College Guide and Rankings, which highlights institutions displaying excellence in social mobility, research, and community and national service. The university is just one out of 4 New Jersey public institutions to crack the top 100 in the National University Rankings. Go Red Hawks!
Go Red Hawks.
Go Red Hawks!
Montclair State University. It's
I'm-
all here.
That's fun fact. That's like not our slogan anymore, but I don't know what our
It's
slogan
not?
is. It's not. It hasn't been for a little bit,
Really?
but I feel like people hung on to it's all here for the bit.
yeah, and
but
now it's not.
I don't think it is
No,
anymore.
isn't it Carpe Diem still? Like, that's just it.
Something like that,
No,
or
but like
we are the worst.
Yeah.
We are the worst. But regardless, Carpe Diem.
I'm
you-
gonna say it's
it's
all here.
You belong here. Go
It's
Red
all
Hawks.
here.
Go Birds.
They said, oh no, people are catching on that it's not all here. We need to change the
We gotta
slogan.
change it. We have some things here according to these reports.
Yeah,
and
but it's
stuff.
not all here. It's mostly here.
It's mostly here. It is mostly here, and I can get behind that. You know,
I mean,
We're
I
here.
could use a Starbucks. But
he's a Starbs, but this is really cool to see our school growing and things like that. I
Yes.
think it has to do with the great leadership that we have here at Montclair State, and I feel that our administration has been super, super supportive in our students and really
Mhm.
wanting to see us succeed.
Shout
And-
out President Capel.
Shout out President Dr. DJ Capel,
DJ
DJ Dr. K or whatever.
DJ Dr. K.
But what's really cool about this is particularly the research moment that I want to highlight, because Montclair State has been absolutely destroying the research department. I think our STEM students are absolutely incredible. They know no bounds and just keep
They
breaking
work-
strides.
They work so hard. I know so many STEM students, and either they are incredibly hard workers and they're struggling, or they're just incredibly hard workers and they're doing everything. So it's either way, like, but that just shows, like, even with the struggling, like, that shows that the work is hard work.
Exactly.
And it's good. It's a good education that you're getting, because I mean, no good education is easy.
Absolutely. And
You
Gabi,
know?
I don't know if you remember this from last semester's Buzz when we interviewed Charles Nzenowane. I
Mhm.
can't remember how to pronounce his last name. I apologize. But he had won a national award for his lung cancer research project. Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
That was someone here, y'all. Like,
Yeah,
that's
isn't that insane?
incredible. And
Yeah.
it's him and all these other students who just make great strides. And also, we have like such great research opportunities on campus too. I always see ads for sociology research, psychology
Mhm.
research, any bio or chem research happening.
And it's like every time you take a psychology course or like beginner psychology course, you have to do so many credits for SONA,
Yeah.
and that is our resource for research projects and all that stuff. And you have to participate in so many experiments, you know.
Yeah, and any research projects like that.
Yeah, and it's very interesting. I did a couple, and because I took a Psych 101, but it just shows that, like, there were so many ones that you could participate in,
Yes.
and they were all very interesting.
They were all very, I participated in one. I took a leadership psychology class,
Mhm.
and that's the class that all the RAs have to take when they're
Mhm.
new. Shout out Res Life. Anyways, it was basically a survey about being an RA, but it was weird. I had to watch
Yeah.
puppets like talk to each other
Oh,
and figure out what they were talking about. But I did get 2 SONA credits.
so there you
I
go.
don't need them.
But you have them if you ever do,
That's true. If I ever decided to be a STEM major
or
today,
just take a psych course.
or take a psych,
You
I
could.
got the credits.
And the psych courses are actually quite interesting.
They
here, for
really
being
are.
honest, I
because
took
psych
one.
is so big here, you know.
It is. I feel like everybody knows at least one psych major.
I know like 7.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. At least
I
one.
think one is like an understatement at this
At
point.
least 2 or 3.
You doing icebreakers? Like, what's everybody's major? Psych, journalism.
Yes, that's
That's
literally
literally it.
psych and journalism, and then maybe one nursing. I know a lot of nursing majors. But like, I had taken a course, and I'm not a psych major, mind you. Like, I am a TVDM major through and through. And it was just so incredibly interesting to me. And I actually did well in the class just because I was so interested in what was being said and what was being taught.
And I think the beauty of that is also the amount of psych professors we have and the amount of
Yes.
really good psych professors we have, because my psych professors are also like amazing as well, just because it's important to just kind of n- dumb it down to so to speak for
Yes.
people who just like can't really understand it that well. If you
Where
talk
science is
in
not their thing.
yeah, I'm not a science girly. I accept that. I have no issues with it. Like
Yeah.
whatever. But it's good that the university takes strides to have classes that are gen eds and stuff like that we kind of have to take, but it's
Mhm.
also palatable for people who are interdisciplinary majors
Mhm.
and just don't know what's going on, because you can kind of share in the joy of having our research
Appreciated.
ranked so highly and
Yeah.
appreciated, because we get it to like
Yes.
not the extent that they do, obviously, of
No.
winning awards for cancer research, but we feel that for them just because
Mhm.
we understand the amount of work that goes into it. So go Red
Yes.
Hawks. I've said that like 50 times already,
But you know
but
what?
we're proud.
Once again, go Red Hawks.
But one more time, go
Red Hawks.
Anyways, moving on to our next one. Gabby, what's going on with this?
This one's like, we were like all like go Red Hawks, but like David DePape or David DePape, I don't know. He's not relevant enough for me to like him, and
Real.
I never will, because go away, David DePape, charged with assault, attempted kidnapping, and attack on Paul Pelosi. So the Justice Department has filed federal felony charges against the man who broke into House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's San Francisco home and attacked her husband with a hammer. The accused could face a maximum of 50 years in prison in last Friday's attack. David Wayne DePape, I don't know, faces 2 felony charges after allegedly breaking into Pelosi's home. By the way, I would really care about his name pronunciation if he did not assault someone.
Real.
Anyways, 1 count of assault of an immediate family member of a United States official, which could bring a maximum prison sentence of 30 years. 1 count of attempted kidnapping of a United States official on account of the performance of official duties, which could bring a maximum of 20 years. Police responded to a 911 call from Paul Pelosi last Friday, according to the Department of Justice, after the 82-year-old woke up to an intruder in his bedroom. DePape, a 42-year-old from San Francisco Bay Area, and Paul Pelosi were mid-struggle over a hammer when officers arrived. Officers said the suspect gained control of the weapon, striking Paul Pelosi in the head, knocking him unconscious. Police recovered a roll of tape, white rope, a second hammer, and a pair of rubber and cloth gloves and zip ties from the crime scene. DePape allegedly broke into the home in search of the congresswoman who was in Washington, D.C. at the time of the attack. "Where's Nancy?" DePape asked Paul Pelosi. After learning about the attack, the speaker raced back to California to be with her husband, who was treated for a skull fracture and serious injuries to his right arm and hands. Here's what I don't understand about people like this. Do I like Nancy Pelosi? No. But would I go to her house and attack her husband in hopes of attacking her and kidnapping her or him? No. That's just absolutely insane.
What was even trying to be achieved? Like, I just don't like
He wanted Nancy. He wanted
but, like,
Nancy Pelosi.
why?
I think this was
To
stemming
kidnap her, to get
from
rid of her.
the
He probably
January,
hated her.
the like misinformation spread by like January 6th, which is what
Yeah.
Joe Biden condemned this case for being despicable because of tying it to January 6th like that.
Yeah.
And I don't think those allegations are all for naught. I think there's a it's giving Pizzagate. It's really giving Pizzagate, like,
Yeah.
where misinformation gets spread and it drives people to do really awful and extreme things just because they think they're doing the right thing. And if you don't know
Yeah.
what Pizzagate is, it's basically a similar story where way back when, I think in the early 2000s or something, misinformation got spread that in these government emails that what was it? These government emails came out and they thought that there was secret code to imply that there was a sex trafficking ring.
Was that not
happening.
Watergate?
No, that was Pizzagate. There's
Oh,
another
I
gate.
don't know. There's too many
There's
gates.
There's
I
so
can't
many
keep
gates.
up.
No, Pizzagate was that, and then someone was driven to go to this particular pizza place and bring a firearm there and
Oh,
threaten
wow.
people with it,
Oh,
thinking that they were going to save children. And then
yeah.
I kind of see a lot of similarities from that case to this case, because you see how a lot of January 6th misinformation drives people to quite literally attack others. We saw what happened on January 6th. How
Yes.
so
did.
many of Donald Trump's supporters feel so compelled that they are saving this country by
100%.
committing heinous acts like that. Like, this is
Yes.
completely out of line.
And this is ridiculous. Like, I don't know. I don't think politics could ever get deep enough where I would literally go and attack someone.
literally, it just, and that goes for everything. That goes
That
all the
goes
way up
for
to war.
literally
Like, it's
everything.
never that deep.
Yeah. It's never that deep. And everything can be solved with a nice little conversation.
No, seriously.
But I mean, obviously, this person wasn't willing to solve anything. He just didn't want Nancy or her husband to be around, basically.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just truly, like, and I stand by that statement. Like, I could never see myself hating somebody so much politically to do something like this. Not even to her husband. Like, what does he have to do with it? Nothing.
It doesn't make any sense. And I feel like if I were a politician in any way, this would horrify me.
Yes.
I don't know how they do what they do, like working for the government and things like that, because this stuff is scary. I wouldn't want to do it.
No,
And-
I could never.
Regardless of where you lean, I feel like there is some, not
There's
even
bad
some.
on both sides.
There's bad on both sides, but there's also a huge respect for people who are just in politics in general,
Yeah.
and having to deal with the brunt of people's opinions and craziness such as this, completely unwarranted. If you don't like Nancy Pelosi, who cares? Like, I'm gonna be so real with you. I
sure.
don't care.
Yeah, who cares? Honestly,
Because
at
it's
this
not
point.
worth doing things like this. If you don't like what a politician is doing, advocate for itself, for those changes to your local government.
Just being in public in general, like in the public eye like that, is so terrifying because there's so many people out there that are just crazy.
Right.
And for lack of a better term, crazy. And it's so scary because they could literally just like you for the smallest reason, but if they have something wrong or a screw loose, you're done.
Exactly. And that's
It's
what makes
terrifying.
it so, because it's so often now.
Mhm.
This is like way more often than it should be. So I hope that Nancy Pelosi's husband, Paul Pelosi, is recovering very swiftly.
Mhm.
And it's just so scary to be out in the world these days.
Absolutely
Please,
terrifying.
PSA, be safe.
Be safe.
But we're
out
going to go
there.
on a quick little break here on the Morning Buzz, and we'll be back with some stuff about homecoming,
We're
which
gonna
just
return
happened.
to the nest.
We're going to return to the nest. You know what I mean? But I will talk to you soon. That was Jack Sampson. I've never heard of him ever. Gabby likes him. Did you like that song?
I didn't sound like Jack though.
It didn't.
And I love Jack. I really do. He's got a great voice, but that didn't sound like Jack.
That's-
But that's okay.
That's okay.
Because it was still good.
it was.
I was just very confused because I didn't know it was Jack at first.
Well, I'm glad one of us is a fan of him. Anyways, moving on, we're going to talk about some homecoming stuff because homecoming was this past weekend here at the Nest. Saturday was homecoming celebration that had something for everyone. We had games, dancing, cooking exhibitions, barbecue, family fun, and clear blue skies, and a pregame ceremony honoring Montclair's football legend Sam Mills of class of 81. This year's events included a street fair with live music, food, and carnival games, the annual student talent showcase at the historic amphitheater, and the alumni craft beer garden. One of the biggest events of the day occurred just prior to the Red Hawk football game against Christopher Newport University, the unveiling of a plaque to posthumously honor Mills, who was enshrined in the Pro Football Hall of Fame in August. Mills's family attended the ceremony, and his wife Melanie said she was honored to represent Sam and his journey at both the Hall of Fame and homecoming ceremonies. She said, quote, "We took our place in the Hall of Fame, and they encouraged us to call Canton to our home. But today, coming back to Montclair on this homecoming, this is our home. New Jersey is our home. Montclair State University is our home. We, the Mills family, are honored to share this biggest accolade with all of you and know that you are part of his journey. Keep pounding." This is so sweet. I really, really love that she said that, just because I feel that despite what you do on this campus, you do kind of feel this sense of camaraderie and a sense of belonging on campus. And homecoming is just such a great way to exemplify that. I personally was unable to attend because
It's almost like homecoming is like coming home.
yeah, coming to home,
Crazy.
coming back to the nest. I wasn't able to attend this weekend. I was home at a doctor's appointment.
Neither was I. I was at CBI in Baltimore.
Gabby was winning awards, but
Things like that. But
I can reflect a little bit on how last year's went, and I just know this year was just as good. Last year it just had the same amount of fun, carnival games, really good music, really good food.
for
So
sure.
I'm not even surprised that it went just as well, just because I think we do a great homecoming, in all honesty.
Can
and-
I be honest?
Yes.
Or not honest? Can I point out that the homecoming concert?
Yes. Did you go?
No, because I was in Baltimore.
Oh
But I heard that the artist threw money out to the audience.
Did he really?
Yes. But
Which
like
one,
only
Jack
to-
Quees or Moneybag Yo?
Money bag.
I was like Moneybag. I said it, and I was like,
He
okay.
was holding a big stack of like hundreds and threw them out to the audience and only threw it to like one area of the audience.
Oh, that's not okay.
But, like,
We're all broke.
I'm
Let's
gonna
spread
be
the wealth.
there. I'm gonna be there.
Yeah.
I want money.
Now that you brought up, I forgot homecoming week even happened, but it was such a good homecoming week. It was created by our programming board of the SGA, SLAM, Student Life at Montclair, and I think they did an incredible job with it. We had, I think the first day was the rock and roller rink. They literally made our entire student center ballroom a roller rink. You could rent out skates.
Yes.
There was a milkshake bar. It was beautiful. They had the Willy Wonka thing with the chocolate, and then they had I think kind of like a paint and sip, but it was like Mean Girls themed. So you
Mm.
can make your own burn book, and like you had
Yeah,
like
that was going on.
yeah. Did y'all go to any of it? Riley, did you go to any of it?
I did the roller rink.
How was that?
That was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I was scared of like dying there, but it was like really
Real,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was like they did well. Like no one got hurt. It's like that's always a bonus. That's
Yeah,
always
you
a
know,
bonus.
People not getting hurt.
And like the milkshake bar was a really cool touch.
Did you try it?
Yeah,
How was it?
it was good. It was good. Like it was super cool.
Oh my god, I'm so jealous. I had a midterm to do.
I did a roller skating event freshman year.
Ooh.
They had one in the ballrooms and it was so fun.
I think that's so cool. So basically, for our listeners to kind of just like envision what we're talking about, we have ballrooms in our student center, and basically they laid down like roller rink flooring so that it would kind of glide with the shoes. So it was literally the whole floor was basically covered with these like buildable tiles and stuff like that. It was so cool. And then I think later on in the week I went to the silent disco that
how'd
we
that
had.
go?
That was so fun. And I've never been to a silent disco, so if you haven't been, they give you headphones and you can change between 3 settings. So they had green, blue, and red. So
Mhm.
all 3 channels were playing 3 different three different like songs and stuff like that because they had 3 DJs up. So I know, right?
That's so
Gabby
cool.
just gave me a look. I was like, it's so cool. And like that was in University 7th floor, and the whole place was just like taken over. Everybody was just vibing. And it was, at first I thought of like, well, I walked in, I didn't have my headphones in, obviously. And I just thought of the TikTok sound
With the squeaking of the
sque-
floor.
That's what I thought. And then I put the headphones on. I was like, okay, I can
Alright.
get with this. And then they started playing Dreams and Nightmares. And then I was like, you know,
And everybody's like, I used to pray for times.
I
like
literally,
this."
I was like, I need to know how this sounds. And it was nuts. But it was such a good time. Like
I'm sure.
homecoming week, shout out to Slam because they do an amazing job with our programs. And I think this was probably one of the more memorable homecoming weeks that we've had in a while. There was just so many festivities leading up to Saturday and the big game, and just having everybody just kind of like a cookout situation, you know what I mean? As
Yeah.
I look at homecoming as, it's kind of like a little cookout situation. But the great thing about it is that it just feels like you're at home.
And
So,
it's just, it feels like fall, you know, when you hear homecoming, like I always think of fall. And it's just the way that it is. I mean, because it's during fall time always. But speaking of fall, pumpkins can be composted. Did you know that?
yeah, that makes
Okay.
sense because it's kind of
And then they can get donated to farms and fed to wildlife.
just in time because everyone's pumpkins are probably rotting.
Oh yeah, like the ones all outside of Hawks Crossing.
Real.
Everybody outside of Hawks Crossing has like pumpkins carved, and they're like starting to slowly like, you know, like turning on themselves.
Right.
But every year people throw pumpkins off the porch into the trash along with Halloween candy wrappers. These jack-o'-lanterns don't have to end up in the local landfill, and consider composting pumpkins in the garden, donating them to community gardens, farms, or even a zoo, or simply leaving them as a snack for backyard wildlife. Gardeners can add pumpkins to the compost pile after removing any remaining seeds and being sure to cut off decorative material such as glitter, paint, stickers, and candle wax. It helps to slice the pumpkin into smaller pieces, scatter and bury them into the pile. And don't worry if the pumpkin's already getting moldy. Those microorganisms aid the composting process. Pumpkins, the other vegetable scraps, and grass clippings in compost piles are high in nitrogen, provide equal or higher amounts of carbon-based materials such as leaves, sawdust, wood chips, or cardboard. Occasionally add water to the compost pile, turning it over with a rake or a pitchfork ensures that the oxygen is mixed in. As Bill Nye would say, science rules. I just know that there was a trend going around where people were putting little, like carving little, like tiny bits into their pumpkins and then letting their chickens like
Oh,
I
saw
saw
peck
that.
out the pumpkins.
Cute.
It's super cute. But that's what I think of when I hear this. But anyways,
I think it would be so cool if we had a composter on campus,
that'd be super cool.
and it would be so easy to just get rid of the pumpkins
Yeah.
at that point, because I would absolutely hate to just throw them in the trash when fully an animal could be eating it, or it could be used as fertilizer. Like, I
Exactly.
think that's so wasteful.
It's nature.
It's
So
nature, you know what I mean?
give
And
nature back to nature.
yeah, and especially speaking for Hot Crossings, our apartment residence halls, like we have a lot of residents who like to put pumpkins out, which is so cute and so great. But I think we need to recycle a little bit more and
Yeah.
compost more on this campus. So I wish we had it, but I think it's so important to remind people that pumpkins can be composted. I feel like after people carve them, they're like, okay, trash it. And they forget that
but then it goes and sits in a landfill.
exactly.
And what does that do?
Nothing. Nothing.
Nothing.
But it's really important to remind, because I feel like people just treat it as like an item. It is an item, but you know what I mean? Just they forget that it's an actual piece of
Mhm.
vegetation.
Yes.
And they're just like, yeah, I can just toss it.
So you know what? This year, now that Halloween's over, or when Thanksgiving's over, I know people get pumpkins for that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, just make sure. Don't forget about the
Don't
animals
forget
and the wildlife
PSA.
and composting. PSA.
Save our planet.
And now that Halloween is also over, we get to look at everyone's costumes.
So real. We're going to talk about some celebrity Halloween costumes right now because yesterday was spooky day. Yesterday was also my birthday. I'm going to say that on
Happy
air.
birthday.
That's awesome. Being born on Halloween is so cool.
I know, right?
She's just the coolest
How-
ever.
On a Monday, though, is kind of
Yeah.
wacko.
That was awful.
It was
I didn't get to do
awful.
anything on Halloween. I mean, I
Happy
could have.
birthday to Sal also.
A happy
yes, and
birthday
happy
to
birthday
Sal,
to Sal
Salvatore DiMaggio. He is our great, great, great member. But I guess since we didn't get to do stuff, our top 1% of the nation who can afford to do something,
LAOLA.
they were able to do stuff. So it's only right that we just hit the spooky red carpet to see what people were wearing this Halloween season. So
Yes.
to start off, Heidi Klum, Miss Queen of Halloween, she was a worm.
Good for her.
Yeah.
I saw that when walking here. I saw that on TikTok walking here.
It's a
and I was-
crazy
it was-
costume.
It was something.
Yeah, it was something, Heidi Klum continues to serve. And I think, if you're going to serve worm, then serve worm.
This is insane, okay? Because it's so weird, but also insanely good.
She was doing the worm on the red carpet. Did you see that?
No
How is
way.
she doing that with this
I
costume?
don't
At
know,
her
but
Halloween party?
Okay. Can we describe this costume for the listeners?
I don't think I could say it
I
in
can
a
do
way.
it.
You
No,
do it.
I can do it.
Yeah.
So, you all know what a worm looks like. Now imagine that worm if it was the size of you.
Horrifying.
That is what Heidi Klum
It's-
looked like. You can't even see her face in this costume, okay?
it's actually scary. Like,
It's done so
I'm
well.
looking at a close up and her face looks like it's stuck in the costume.
Yes. You see her mouth, you see her smile, but her lips blend in with the costume. Her nose is completely blended in with the costume. And her eyes are the only thing sticking out. It's
I
so
can't keep looking at this photo.
it's absolutely
so scary.
terrifying, if we're being honest.
Like,
Halloween
oh.
is supposed to be a scary, spooky holiday. She has succeeded at scaring
Oh, yeah.
me to death.
She's definitely delivered on that. It's giving Alaskan bullworm.
That's exactly what it's giving, Alaskan bullworm.
It's wild. And I think someone else, I don't know if that's her partner or something, was a fisherman. So I think it was a fish hook bait situation.
I don't know, but this is awful. This is gonna give me nightmares.
Yeah, no,
Lara,
It was-
why did you put this in the script?
Lara, please.
It was her husband who was the fisherman. Yeah.
Yeah,
this
that's
is,
cute.
This is terrifying.
Yeah,
I'm actually.
it's not a fisherman and a fish. It's the fisherman and the worm.
They
Yeah,
could make a horror movie off of this costume.
I think they did. I think it's called Human Centipede.
Oh,
No. No.
Anyways, moving on. That was so bad.
Not
So,
that movie,
On
please.
to more interesting ones and not scary. Lizzo was Marge Simpson.
She popped off.
She really did pop off. That was the one. Kelly Rowland, Catwoman, fire as per usual. We got Kim K as Mystique
There was a
from.
whole group of them as X-Men. They were killing it. They were killing it.
I
They
think
really-
that's so Mystique is such a power move.
Yeah, so I forget who else was. They were magic as well. There was a whole bunch of them as X-Men. I don't know. Who
That's so cool. I would love to do that one day. I feel like full body paint for a costume is kind of a lot, especially if you're just going to a gathering. But it is what it is. We got Rebel Wilson and Ramona Agruma were the Grady twins from The Shining.
Yes.
Which that's the ones on the little tricycles, right?
It's the
Or is it the
girls.
girls?
It's the
blue dress
girls. It's the
yeah.
girls standing
Oh,
in the hallway
and
and
I see.
yeah, some of these costumes were insane. I don't know
Right.
why Kylie Jenner's not on this list. Kylie Jenner, Kendall is, but
Oh.
Kylie's not.
Yes,
Wait,
is.
she is.
Yeah, the late read a little bit.
Sorry, I did. Kylie Jenner being Elvira. Wow.
What is
Just look it up, Terry.
Elvira? Right.
She's an icon.
People were like,
She is
not
the-
happy with it.
Really?
People were like, "Oh, it was too skimpy," and I was like,
I thought she looked
And
stunning.
people were like, "I don't know. Have you been to a
Stunning.
college campus ever?"
Yeah, literally. Yeah. Have you been to a college campus? ever?
Stop.
Especially around Halloween.
This is Elvira.
Yes.
I've seen this person everywhere. I didn't know her name.
Yes.
Kylie's killing. Who cares if it's quote unquote
It's
skimpy?
How
It's
okay.
Halloween.
It's not though, because if you
It's
look at an
not,
actual
it's
picture of
not.
Elvira and then you look at Kylie Jenner's Elvira costume,
It's just the the cleavage.
The
That
cleavage in Elvira is the same.
Yeah, I think people are they love
Being-
bringing women down.
I think Kylie did amazing.
She did amazing. And one of my favorites right now is Neil Patrick Harris's family. They were all fast food restaurant mascots.
Yeah.
So I think I can't make out who's who, but we got Ronald McDonald, the Burger King, the KFC man, and Wendy's. So the kids were the KFC guy and Wendy's, and then Neil Patrick Harris and his partner were Ronald McDonald and the Burger King.
That's amazing.
That is the cutest thing I've ever seen. Very cute costume. We had Frankie Jonas was Joe Jonas, so he was his brother.
As he should be.
That's really funny. And
Jojo Siwa.
Jojo Siwa was Draco Malfoy.
Potter?
Potter. I can't do it. I can't do the accent.
but Jojo Siwa looked great because
Training for the
She did.
Potter.
Lara, do that again.
Training for the ballet, Potter.
you're amazing, Laura.
You're amazing, love. You're stunning.
You're amazing.
But
Well
yeah,
stunning.
shout out to JoJo Siwa's little Draco Malfoy thirst trap that she
Her
posted.
little moment.
Yeah, her little moment. But yeah, that was spooky season. I would quickly everyone say what they were. I was Tinkerbell.
I was a dead cheerleader.
Lydia.
I didn't do anything.
X was X. And
While we scold X.
Riley Cooper, what were you?
I was Lydia from Beetlejuice.
So cute. Amazing. Happy post spooky season. We're in
Happy
November now.
post-spooky season.
So we're getting into
X.
Turkey Day.
We're gonna shame you while we take a break.
No, we won't. But we'll be back really, really soon for our favorite segment of the week. Stay tuned. Said I was me with a hat. I'm dead. We are back here on the Morning Buzz, and it's time for our favorite segment of the week with our favorite person, Emo Music McCormack. She's here in studio. Emo, say hi.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Emo. It's Tunes on Tuesday.
It is.
What do we got for Tunes
What-
on Tuesday?
What we got for Tunes on Tuesday, which, by the way, is our weekly new music show curated by the music team here at WMSC. This week's interview is with artist Joe Billy. He is a angsty, introspective He is the angsty, introspective soundtrack to your everyday existentialism.
Oh, yeah.
Big words here at before 8 a.m. on the Morning Buzz. His acoustic punk style sound is taken to the next level with intelligent lyricism, energetic and upbeat music, and passionate authenticity. With the intent to provoke thought, open your mind, and feel like you belong somewhere in this crazy world, his whimsical, self-aware cynicism is uplifting, and his uplifting compassion bring you in and unify us all. Established in 2016, Joe Billy has since released 3 full-length albums, a live EP, and several singles. Currently, he's releasing new singles every 3 weeks that will eventually culminate into his 4th full-length album. How do you pronounce that? Fisher?
Fissure.
Come join the fun and welcome. Music from Joe Billy, All Around, Wolf Fox, Sophia Jelani, and more on Tunes on Tuesday, which airs at 2 and 6 p.m. on WMSC. You can listen in for new music and good vibes. And if you missed last week's episode, no need to worry. All episodes of the show are available on our website, WMSCradio.com. And now we are going to play this just in award-winning Tunes on Tuesday Showmo.
Award-winning?
Award-winning.
What award did it win?
Well, it won for best. What was it? Best promo.
Best
Show
show promo.
at CBI 2022.
Congratulations.
Shout out music director Jared Tauber.
Shout out Jared. Let's hear this. Let's hear
The
this.
tunes.
90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair.
DJ Dr. DJ.
Tunes, 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 tunes. Tunes on Tuesday, all up on a Tuesday. One day only, baby, so you do not get to Tuesday. 2 p.m. on Tuesday, 5 p.m. on Tuesday. Tune in 2 times Tuesday to get twice the tunes on Tuesday. Get them interviews, precious set of tunes. You're not tuning in, I've got a question, what you doing? Put it in the chat, new playlist. New bangers every week, coming faithless. You better believe it's an atheist. WMSC's music is the greatest. Charlie on the team, what? Emo on the team. Everybody clean on the scene, on me. My buddy Kyle holds it down with the ice line. But use style all around, that's a fine line. When a jack that relates to sign. Drop it. All the MP3s on the drive. Digital Mark's gonna promo on time. Till we do it all again, hit the rewind. Tunes, 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 tunes.
That is the best showmo.
That was fire.
I love that.
Bumping in the studio just now.
It's award-winning for a reason.
It is when they so we were at CBI, me and Emo, and every time whoever got first place for whatever category, they played a little piece of whatever they won with. And when we won first place, well, Jared won first place for Tunes Showmo for best audio promo. They started playing this, and of course, because it was the winning thing,
Right.
and we were all sitting in the audience going, tunes, tunes,
No way.
tunes. Yes. It was so funny. I was like doing the arm. I was like, tunes.
How did people react? Did they love it?
I don't know. We
loved
were in
it.
the front.
I think I heard like laughter and like I saw people smiling because I was surrogate Jared Tauber and I collected the award for him, and I was walking around the room and everyone's like, what is happening? But they liked it, you know.
What
and I
is
feel like
happening?
that's
The
I feel
general
like that's
consensus.
Jared's vibe.
Yeah. What's
Jared's
going on?
vibe is what is going on, but I kind of like
Yes. That's yeah, for sure.
That was the best thing ever.
No, like
yeah.
honestly, the best thing ever. Well-deserved award. Congrats to
Best
you
thing
both.
ever.
Congrats to Tunes. That was
Tunes.
fire.
Award-winning Tunes on Tuesday.
Award-winning.
Award-winning.
You can say
Good.
that. But
in addition to Tunes, I have some news about tunes outside of Tuesday.
Tunes outside Tuesday. Today.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tuneception. So I'm gonna be delivering the top songs in the adult alternative album chart according to iHeartRadio. You guys ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna give you the top 10 for the week. Number 10 is Stay Out of It by Michigander off his upcoming EP, It Will Never Be the Same, which is expected in March 31st, 2023. Still freaked out by that number. It's very soon. But
Stop.
Number 9 is Grace by Marcus Mumford of Mumford & Sons off of his self-titled solo album. Number 8 was number 1 on the rock alternative charts for weeks. It's Boy by The Killers. Number 7 is Tonight by Phoenix featuring Ezra of Vampire Weekend. Fun fact, this is the first time that Phoenix has had a feature on their music, and they decided on the singer of Vampire Weekend. I think it's definitely a great collaboration there. Number 6 is The Heavy Heavy by Miles and Miles, which makes me laugh saying out loud. That's from their debut EP, Life and Life Only. Number 5 is Here to Forever by Death Cab for Cutie from their latest album, Asphalt Meadows. Number 4 is Bad Habit by Steve Lacy from his album Gemini Rights. Number 3 is The Otter by Camp. Camp, spelled C-A-A-M-P, apparently stands for Consuming Abnormal Amounts of Makers and PBR, which stands for Professional Bull Riders. And that's all the information I have on this song, and I'm very confused by that. They have an acronym as part of an acronym, and that is off their album Lavender Days, which was released in June. Number 2 is Stick Season by Noah Kahan.
I love that song.
Album of the same name was released October 14th. And number 1, we have Snap by Rosa Lynn from her album Snap Pack, and was, I believe, if not the song, she was part of Eurovision Italy representing Armenia. And that is the top 10 in the AAA chart this week.
Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Emo.
90.3 WMSC.
Upper
Montclair.
Montclair, where music stays cool, but not as cool as emo,
Cooler than a dog on a skateboard.
but not cooler than emo.
Where's my sour cream?
Jesus Christ. Anyways, that has been Tunes on Tuesday. Emo, thank you so much.
Of course.
Amazing segment as
trying.
per usual. But
No
since we have hit the 8 o'clock hour, it is our messy hour. Messy hour. And we always start off our hours with a news update. Riley, what's going on?
All right. So it's a very Montclair newscast today. But first, today's the first day of the Mexican holiday, Day of the Dead.
Woo!
This week is also the final week before clocks switch back an hour on Friday.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Getting rid of that.
An extra
No,
hour of
it
sleep.
didn't go through in Congress. So
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Interesting.
Also, class registration starts this Thursday on November 3rd and ends on November 10th. And if we're shouting out birthdays, that's my birthday.
Happy birthday.
So be sure to know when you're registering for the upcoming semester. And as we know, yesterday was Halloween, and we at Montclair celebrated with the annual Rocky Ween. And this year, our favorite bird family were Wizard of Oz themed. We hope the students of Montclair saw Rocky and his family and got the festive candy that they were handing out. And just announced, like last night, Montclair will be separating the College of Education and Humanity Service into 2 separate areas, the College of Education and Learning and the College for Community Health. This will go into play July 1st, 2023. And today's weather is a high of 67 with 80% humidity and 5 miles an hour wind.
Thank you so much, Riley. That was a very Montclair newscast.
Yeah.
But like honestly,
I kind of was living for it.
I lived for it. I didn't even know about the college humanities thing. So thank you so much for keeping us informed.
Queen.
X, what is going on in the sports world?
All right, guys, we got our Tuesday sports section.
Please not Monday again.
We had Monday Night Football last night. It was in Cleveland this week, and the Browns showed up and showed that they got them dogs in them, literally. Their opponents were the Cincinnati Bengals, who were coming off a win last week and were looking to be the better team. They were predicted by most to win the game. That was not how it played out last night, though, because the Browns whipped the Bengals 32-13. It was a great defensive effort for the Cleveland Browns, showing a stat line of 5 sacks, and they had a pick to have the game sealed. In baseball news, Game 3 of the WS was rained out and will be played later today. So shout out to the Phillies and the Houston Astros. Good luck. The series is tied 1-1. In the NBA news, the biggest game in the association last night was the Clippers versus the Houston Rockets. Paul George made it his mission to carry his team to the win. He had a stat line of 35 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists, and 6 steals. In Montclair State news, our men's soccer team beat City College of New York 5-0 yesterday on Halloween. Shout out to the boys. And today they take on Rutgers Camden. Good luck today, guys. And that's it for the sports section.
Thank you so much. Go Red Hawks for the
Red Hawk
70th
country.
time. Red Hawk country in here.
Let's ride.
Let's ride into the next segment. We are going into Am I in the Wrong? Our second favorite segment of the week, of the day. And you know, we love it so much. So if you don't know what Am I in the Wrong is, where have you been, first of all? But we go into Reddit and we deep dive into the world of Reddit and messy situations. Disclaimer, these stories are not our own personal experiences. These are the stories of the users of Reddit, but we like to talk about them because they're really, really messy and interesting. So, shall we get into the first one?
Yes, please.
Amazing. So, am I in the wrong for making my ex a birthday cake, even though his girlfriend told me she already had ordered one? So, I'm an amateur baker, and I like to make cakes for people for their birthday. My ex doesn't like sweet stuff, but our kids like helping me make the cake for him, so I normally make one for him anyway for their sake. This year, his girlfriend planned a party for him, and she told me that she already had ordered him a cake, so I didn't need to make one. I told her that was fine, but my daughter kept asking me when we would make her dad's cake, and was upset that we wouldn't because she assumed I didn't like my ex, and that's why I wouldn't make him one. Since the cake has always been more of a kid's thing than for my ex, I decided just to make him a small one since it's not like he eats cake anyway, and I don't want my kids to think I dislike their dad. I told his girlfriend beforehand I was going to make a small cake, and she told me not to, and that I couldn't bring it to the party. I told her I had to bring it to the party as that's when the kids would give him his gifts. I offered to come early and give it to him before the other guests arrive and that they could put it away and nobody else would know about my cake, but she didn't agree with me and repeatedly told me not to bring it. I didn't take it with me in the end, and now she keeps complaining to mutual friends that I did it on purpose to ruin the party and called me weird for making him a cake after I was told not to. Am I in the wrong?
Okay, I think that girlfriend has some serious jealousy issues.
Real.
Like so here's the thing. When you date somebody who has kids with someone else, you have to be understanding and respectful of that.
Exactly.
And it's not just your relationship, it's the relationship with the kids, and unfortunately still the relationship with the ex, whether it's a good or bad relationship. And the mother of those children will make sure that her kids are as happy as can be, happy little clams.
And I also feel like, going off of that it's more so for the kids. I think the mom has emphasized enough that this is just something that the kids like to do out of love and respect for their dad, because it's a fun thing to do. You know, you're making a cake with your family and things like that. It's a sweet thing to do. And I think their girlfriend is thinking too deeply into it. It's really not that serious.
No.
The kids want to do a cute little thing for their dad. It's a tradition, and the mom doesn't want to give off the impression that she doesn't mess with the dad anymore and just doesn't like him anymore.
I'm sure she did say this, but I would have continued to be like, this cake is from the kids. It's not from me.
Exactly.
It's from his children. If you have a problem with his children, you should leave.
You can tell it that's what she did, because she said that she would come early and they could put the cake away and it didn't really matter. The kids just wanted to give it.
Yeah.
Those poor kids, they were so excited for that cake to give to their dad. And this woman was just like, no, you can't do that. First of all, I don't think anyone would be upset that there's 2 cakes at a party.
No.
That's real. If there's bunches of people there, I think the more cake, the merrier. Just because, you gotta feed people,
cake,
whatever.
It's
cake. Like,
also,
why are you mad?
Also, has she ever been around small children? You can't say no to small children.
You really can't.
They will throw 10 million fits.
Yeah, and especially doing something this kind and sweet. Like, there's really no
Mhm.
reason to say no to the kids.
Exactly.
It's a bit dramatic.
It's
in
a
my-
lot dramatic.
It really
I think
is.
the girlfriend needs to get herself together.
Yeah, and it almost seems like, I think because the mom has communicated so much that it's for the kids, she doesn't care about those kids. The girlfriend.
Yeah.
The girlfriend does not care about those kids, because if she really did, she would have been like, yeah, absolutely. But it just seems like she's more concerned with herself and the
Yeah.
current relationship that she's in, which I think is a big problem when a lot of the times people get into relationships with people who already have children. They forget that, in a sense, it's not like you have to be the quote unquote second mom, because no one's fully expecting you to do that, but there has to be some sort of respect and care for those children as well, just because you are
Exactly.
that person's partner. But yeah,
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, the girlfriend needs to get herself together.
she needs to get
Because
herself
that's
together.
literally all I can think.
I think we both are pretty much on that. We all are pretty much on
Yeah.
the same page with this. Yeah.
Yeah.
X, how you feel?
To be honest, I didn't. It's a cake. Who cares?
It's a cake. Who cares? So we think that the mom isn't in the wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think the mom's in the wrong. I
Yeah,
think the
counts-
girlfriend needs to
Yeah.
stop being jealous.
The council says the mom is not in the wrong.
What does the other council of Reddit say?
The council of Reddit agrees that the mom is not in the wrong.
It's official.
Crack the gavel.
We get rid of the girlfriend. Gavel cracked.
Off with her head.
Off with her head.
But
Are we the Queen of
amazing,
Hearts now?
I guess.
I
you
love
know?
that.
Together. That's
We are
so cute.
both the Queen of Hearts.
Yes. Like
Yes. That's a sleigh. That's a sleigh all day.
Anyways, we got another girlfriend thing going on,
What are
Gabby.
these girlfriends today?
Oh,
I'm quite over these girlfriends, okay?
it looks like somebody else's too.
Girlfriends do nothing but ruin things. I'm sorry.
Evidently.
That was a
because
lot of just emotional anger.
I guess this girlfriend ruined something because
All right. Am I in the wrong for leaving my girlfriend stranded when she chose to ignore me?
yeah. Like, I don't even know everything.
Okay, I need to change my voice though because this is from the POV of a male. I,
Jesus.
27 male, went to a pumpkin patch with my girlfriend, 22, and a bunch of her friends. I was told it was a couples thing, but I was the only guy there. That's fine. I'm okay with her friends. I am past the whole cutesy date thing, but I like making her happy. But then they all started ignoring me. Every time I tried to join a conversation or spend time with my girlfriend, I got frozen out like I was intruding. I asked her if she wanted to do the corn maze with me, and it was like some creepy guy at the bar. They all had to come along. Like I was trying to separate her. I totally was, but I don't think that's the bad thing. Anyways, they all decided to split up in the maze, and my girlfriend went with them. Heck, man. I could go to catch the Seahawks game if I left. I texted her that she had 5 minutes to respond to me, or I was going back to town to watch the game, and she could get a ride back with her friends. To clarify, I had a perfect cell signal the entire time. I was literally watching the second quarter before she responded. It took her that long to notice that I was gone. She said her friend would have to drive really far out of her way to drop her off, and that I should come get her. I was definitely over the limit, and I had told her to get an Uber and I would pay for it. She said never mind and spent the night at her place instead. I just woke up about 50 texts from her and her friends calling me a not so nice word for leaving without telling anyone. I did tell her. She just chose to ignore me. I'm kind of angry that I wasted all that gas and time and we never even got to actually spend time together. I'm upset with her and her friends. This is the first time she acted like this in our 6 months of dating. Okay, at
Ooh.
first, when I read the title, I was like, nah, he's in the wrong. Then I read the story.
You think he's not in the wrong?
I don't think he's in the wrong.
Hmm.
Because it was a couples thing. So why was she not coupling with her couple? And then when he texted her and was like, bro, like, answer me or I'm leaving because you literally just left me. She didn't answer.
Yeah, that's real.
Like
at first I was like kind of on the fence just because I feel like I have an issue with anybody just leaving people anywhere. You know what I mean? But
if it would have been different if like it was just her and him on a date and then
Mhm.
she like went to go do something and he just like left her.
yeah.
But she was obviously having more fun with her friends.
Yeah.
And it was like he wasn't there anyways, and like it was almost like he was just, if from reading this, it was almost like he was just her ride.
Yeah, now
And
that when you put
honestly-
it that way, I think I do agree with you. I think he felt, because I'm thinking like, I'm trying to get out of like the, oh, like you just left your girlfriend there thing, because I'm like, oh, if I got left, I would be mad. But then like flip it around, if
Mhm.
I was the odd person out,
Getting ignored by my girlfriend.
there's no point in being there. So like,
yeah.
I completely understand that person leaving,
Yeah.
just
I
because
mean,
like,
he was right. I could have been watching the game.
right,
And instead I had to be here, and I didn't even
need to be.
need to be. She could have just went pumpkin picking with her friends.
I really wonder why she invited her boyfriend. Just because I think, personally, just speaking out of my own experience, because I've been in a relationship for 3 years now, but it's just really important to be an individual outside of
Yes,
your
of course.
relationship. And if like your significant other does not need to tag along to every friend outing, and I'm not implying
No.
that they do in this particular case, but if you feel like that your significant other probably isn't going to vibe that well,
Yeah.
and it's not like they don't get along, it's just sometimes it's just not the place.
And I get like it was a couples thing, but it obviously wasn't too coupley if
It wasn't, if it was just
she was just like vibing with them the whole time and not even giving him the time of day.
exactly.
He literally says at the beginning, like he's like I just like making her happy. Like I'm past the whole cutesy dates thing, but like if she wants to do it, then I'll do it. So he didn't even really want to be there in the first place, but he was doing it to make her happy.
Right.
And she just completely ignored him. Well, then I mean, I would leave too.
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm very much that person of like, if you're going to ask me to go somewhere do something, then you're going to act like I'm there.
Exactly. And I think that's so rude to kind of give someone the cold shoulder when you invited them as a
Yeah.
guest
Yes.
to be, or like not even a guest because it's your significant other, it's a little bit more than that, but you want to spend time with this person.
Yeah.
If you have expressed that, then why are you not incorporating it,
Mhm.
like allowing everyone
And
to
he
feel included?
and he warned her.
Yeah.
It's like, if you don't answer me, I'm leaving.
And
she ignored him.
And I think it's a little awful that they kind of just went into the maze and just split up without like,
Yeah.
I just imagine just being in the maze and like just standing there while
can
everyone just like
imagine
goes poof.
I can imagine this in a friend scenario too, like being like a friend and then like having all your friends go one way and be like, bye. And then you're just like alone.
Yeah.
Like in a friend scenario, in a dating
Relatable.
scenario, it's just not,
Yeah.
it's just not nice. It's not right. And in that scenario, in a friend scenario, which is the only scenario I'd be in right now, I would leave. I'd be like, hey, you don't want me here, bye.
And like
Simple as
like
that.
he said, that's a waste of gas, it's a waste of his time. It's
Mhm.
not fair to him. And I think the girlfriend probably should have been a little bit more considerate in his time. And
Yeah.
if it wasn't really necessary for him to be there, just say that. If you wanted to just have a friend day with
Say
your
that.
people, go for it. Just say
Yeah.
that. Like I said before, your significant other does not have to come to every single thing you do outside of the house, you know? Like you can be an individual, you can do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Just communicate that. But now look, she didn't communicate that. And now his feelings are hurt and he's upset because he
Mhm.
went to something that he didn't even have to be at.
Precisely. Okay. What does the council say?
Does our council think that this individual, this man, is not in the wrong?
I mean,
Say I.
I.
X.
I agree.
I. Yes.
I. The council has made the decision.
We say that
He's
he is
not in the wrong.
not in the wrong. Reddit's council agrees with us.
They agree with us.
We've been doing pretty good with agreeing with Reddit lately.
Yeah,
I think
no,
we only had
because
one.
we were struggling last week.
We weren't on good terms with Reddit. You know, the
No.
council was at odds, but now the council is restored.
We're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Not off with the heads.
Not off with the heads, just maybe off with that relationship because yikes.
Yeah, no, I would break up with your girlfriend.
Yeah, because he's bored. Anyway,
Yo, literally.
we're
Or
gonna
maybe she's
go-
bored.
Yeah, I don't know. Someone's bored.
I don't know.
My mic is bored apparently because it wants to hit me in the face. But we're gonna take a cute little break here on the Morning Buzz, and we are gonna come back with some entertainment stories very, very soon. Stay with us. Always great music from Brendan Urie. We don't want to talk about the last album though.
No, but LA Devotee is a 10 out of 10 song.
That is a 10 out of 10
I
song.
love that song.
But speaking of music, here on 90.3 WMSC, we got some Taylor Swift stuff to talk about. Gabi, what's going on with her?
Taylor Swift, guys, she apparently makes history as first artist with entire top 10 on Billboard Hot 100, led by Anti-Hero or Anti-Hero, whatever, at number 1.
Ooh.
Taylor Swift scores one of the most historic weeks in the 64-year history of Billboard Hot 100, as she becomes the first artist to claim the survey's entire top 10 in a single frame. Swift surpasses Drake, who logged 9 of the Hot 100's top 10 for a week in September 2021. Leading the way for Swift on the Hot 100, Anti-Hero launches at number 1, marking her 9th career leader. All 10 songs in the Hot 100's top tier are from Swift's new LP Midnights, which released on October 21st on Republic Records, blasts in at number 1 on the Billboard 200 albums chart, with the biggest week for any release in 7 years. Swift also surges past Drake and the Beatles for the most titles from the top of the Hot 100 in a single week, as her monopoly of the top 10 bests those acts, each of whom infused the top 5 for a week each in 2021 and 1964, respectively. Plus, Midnights becomes the first album ever with as many as 10 top 100 or Hot 100 top 10s, besting the 9 from Drake's Certified Lover Boy. In 2021, the Hot 100 blends all genre US streaming, official audio and official video, radio airplay, and sales data. All charts dated November 5th, 2022 will update on billboard.com tomorrow, November 1st. Well, today.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yay.
Today is November 1st.
Do we have any Swifties in the studio?
Oh, I was gonna say Swifties are crazy.
I like Taylor Swift, but I'm not a Swiftie.
It doesn't surprise me because Swifties are crazy. They're crazy.
Whoa,
They
coming
are.
after a whole fan base over there,
Crazy,
Riley.
though.
You got a target on your back now.
We have some in WMSC. You better watch out.
Oh,
What
great.
made me do? But I'm not a Swiftie either. Not gonna lie, just not crazy about her. Sorry, Swifties.
Yeah,
Come after
but
me too.
I like her. I do. I think she's had moments where I didn't like her.
Real, very real.
But I normally do like her. I'm shocked that she is still that, especially Anti-Hero is at number 1, because I think the song was great. I think it really spoke to a lot of people, but her music video had included, we actually talked about this on the Buzz in Baltimore that we did. Her music video for Anti-Hero, she stood on a scale and then showed the scale saying fat, which one is just Taylor Swift isn't anything but, and 2, it just made being fat in a negative light.
Yeah.
And she got a lot of backlash for that. Granted, she did end up taking it out of the video immediately after the backlash. But she still did it in the first place, and the music video was directed, produced by her. Written, directed, produced, the whole thing. It was by her. So I'm quite shocked that she's doing this well after that backlash. But maybe it just made people want to go and listen to the song.
It's Swifties. It doesn't matter. Swifties.
Right.
True.
That makes so real. Any fandom of that big of an artist, what they fail to do is hold their artists accountable a lot of the time. So in that particular instance, I'm not surprised that she's still topping the charts, because the one thing that Swifties are gonna do is gonna put that woman's music at the top, because the fact that she's surpassing Drake and the Beatles,
she's record breaking.
She's record breaking, and at that point, I just feel I'm disappointed at what she did in her music video, and I feel like people should hold her accountable, because no one's really talking about that.
No.
And they're more so talking about, oh my god, Taylor's at the top. Taylor does have a new album. Like, oh my god. But it's just like, I'm tired of putting artists on a pedestal when they do things like that. And yeah, sure, she's a talented woman. She makes great music, and she got to the top 100s for a reason. But she also did something like very distasteful and really tone deaf.
Yes.
Which is really gross in my opinion.
No, I 100% agree. Also, a hot take, I didn't love this album. A lot of people were like, oh, it's so good.
No, I heard a lot of people saying she put the mid in Midnight. So
hey, yo. No, see, I've only heard good things about it, and maybe that's because I know a good amount of Swifties, but it was just, I don't know, like I tried listening to it, I tried so hard to listen to it,
Yeah.
and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Maybe, and maybe it just wasn't my type of energy, which happens, you
That's
know,
fair,
like
yeah.
that's a thing, but like it can be good, but just not for you. But I don't know. I've liked Taylor songs in the past, and I did not like this album.
That's fair. Like I said before, her music just doesn't rock with me most of the
Yeah.
time. I'll sing, what's that song with the Romeo and the Juliet?
Love Story.
Love Story? Yeah. I'll bop to some.
That was back in her like
That's, like,
country
really
phase.
old.
Yeah.
Her
those-
country pop
the
phase.
country pop. I got it.
I
you
loved
know?
that phase. That was my favorite Taylor phase. Although I did like her Lover, Bad Reputation, like
Yeah,
that.
that was good.
That was
That
good.
was a good like resurgence.
yeah.
It sounds all the same. Like I listened to the album for the first time this weekend,
Yes.
and I was like, all the songs sound the same.
I feel I 100% agree, because there's like there are those albums out there that like every single song sounds the same, and this is
Yeah.
one of them.
Ew.
And it's just like because it's like if I don't like the one song, then I'm not gonna like any song on the whole album.
Yeah, I have this rule: if it doesn't grab my attention in like 40 seconds, it's done.
Yes. No.
Like,
I'm very much the
And
same
40 is
way.
pushing it.
Because if you can't grab my attention in 40 seconds, what makes you think I want to sit through the first 40 seconds of the song just to get to the good part every time I listen
Real.
to it?
So
Like I'm not
real.
going to. I'm simply not going to.
But yeah, congrats to Taylor, topping the charts as per usual. But also, it's important to hold celebrities accountable.
Yeah,
for the
but
things we actually should be talking about.
Can we hold celebrities accountable for their Halloween costumes?
Yeah.
Questionable, depending on what it is.
Megan
but I
Fox
think,
and Machine Gun Kelly.
that one's tricky. But let's talk about it. So, Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly were outraged Christians over this Halloween costume when they posted an image in their provocative his and hers Halloween outfits on Instagram. So if we're angering Christians, it's only a given of what they could have possibly dressed up as. They were dressed up as a priest in black and red robes holding a leash around Fox's neck, and the actress was wearing black lingerie and fishnets. So MGK was in the black and red robes. And Fox captioned the set of pictures, quote, "On Sundays, we take communion." The post also included a clip of Kelly feeding her what appeared to be sacramental bread. Someone wrote, quote, "No one should ever mock someone else's religion," along with, quote, "the humiliating and degrading things people do for social media." So, how do y'all feel about this?
I think they've just been so weird and scandalous since
just
they
gonna
started to
say.
get together.
I would say their relationship has just been like
So odd.
Yeah,
And like I want to be like, how dare you, blah blah blah, but they're just so weird.
they really are.
This is just what they do.
like every time I check in on them, it's something new, and I'm like,
remember her, what is it, her wedding ring or her engagement
And it was
ring?
like it had thorns on it, so it was
Yeah.
hard to take it off.
Yeah, that, or when
There-
one of them had a necklace of the others, whatever. And
Oh, it was like their blood. That's what it was. I
yes,
think it was a vial of their blood.
yeah,
I thought
That
was
yeah.
weird.
It's just really weird. They're a weird couple, and I think I understand why Christians would be upset, because they're like, "Oh my God, this is blasphemous. This is disrespectful to somebody's religion," and things like that. Like, I completely get it coming from someone who grew up Christian, because that's just something that we're taught. Like,
Yeah, no, like
Don't
this
disgrace.
is definitely disrespectful.
it is.
I
I-
just
Yeah, that's that's pretty much it. It is disrespectful, and I also think it's important to be conscious of other people's faiths and religions and culture when dressing up for Halloween. I don't want to say this and like contradict myself, because like you see other people who dress up
As
as nuns and stuff, and I feel like we don't think as a society, we don't bat an eye to someone dressing up as a nun or a priest more
Yeah.
so than we should. I don't know. Do you
I-
think we should be holding people accountable more for that?
That's a great question, which like now that we think about it, if we're holding people accountable for other religions dressing up like that, we should probably be doing it for all religions.
Yeah, I think it's I feel like people are like, the Christians are mad again, which I get. Like, it's
no, yeah, they're always
completely-
mad. We're always mad. I get
Yeah,
it.
like we get it, right? But I think in this way, I
this
think
one's reasonable. 'Cause
Yeah.
normally it's not reasonable, but like this one, like I get, like I understand why they're mad at this
Yeah.
one. Like
Because when you take your religion seriously, like even slightly seriously, like It's kind of offensive.
Yeah, and
And I get it.
religion is a part of culture, and culture is not a costume. So we say the same things when people wear traditional cultural garbs of different ethnicities and from different cultures and things like that, right? So if we're doing the same thing for Christianity, I don't think that's a very fair standard.
Yeah,
And
I think
I just don't think it's really hypocritical to be not okay with one thing and okay with the other thing when they're both doing the same concept.
But that's the thing is, if it's not you, it's not your problem, and that's what people do.
Exactly.
And we need to get out of that mindset as
I
a
agree.
society because like it affects someone somewhere.
Right. And I think if we are going to be advocates of equity or equality and respect across the board, even if you don't even like this particular group, you should accommodate and respect the fact that that's something of their culture and shouldn't be disrespected. So I think
For
that's
sure.
kind of the general consensus on that.
Mhm.
You know, I just feel like there are other costumes.
Yes. Also, like there are just so many good costumes out there. Like I saw Princess Mia from Princess Diaries.
Oh,
It was phenomenal.
I love
10
that.
out of 10
With
costume.
the headphones.
Yes, with the headphones, the
It's so
sunglasses, the
cute.
tiara,
Yeah.
the purse, and the white tank top. It was so good.
See,
And that's a good costume.
why couldn't they have been Princess Mia and Chris Pine, whatever his name was in the
Yes. Oh, yeah.
That would've been
He
cute.
was Nicholas.
Nicholas.
So good.
Throwback.
Or you
childhood
could just
crush.
buy like a costume from Costco or something.
You think FGK and Megan are going to Costco?
No, but like they could if they wanted
They
to.
could if they can afford. I mean, they can afford.
There
to go to
is super
Costco.
cool things at Costco though.
Real.
It's true.
Like a mega jigsaw puzzle.
I heard about this.
Dude,
What's going on?
I
With
feel like my
this?
mom would love this. She loves puzzles. There's a mega jigsaw puzzle for sale at Costco, and it's 29 feet wide and has 60,000 pieces.
No way.
My brain could never do this, by the way.
Real.
I think my brain would
Buzz puzzle sesh.
die off.
Yeah.
This is not an ad, guys. This is just some good old-fashioned reporting. A mega jigsaw puzzle with 60,000 pieces is for sale at Costco at 8 feet long and 29 feet wide. This is bigger than me. The wholesale giant says it's the largest jigsaw puzzle in the world. The puzzle, called What a Wonderful World, is actually 61,000 piece puzzles featuring the art of 187 paintings by artist Dowdle. I'm so sorry. Costco says the puzzle is, quote, filled with vibrant images of the world's most interesting places. Although Costco claims it's the largest jigsaw puzzle in the world, Guinness World Records says that a 65,905 square foot jigsaw in the United Arab Emirates holds that title. But this puzzle is basically $600. It's $599.99. That's so expensive.
I did
Oh my
not
God.
have $500.
I just looked up.
600, girlfriend.
I just looked up
$600.
a picture of it or one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, this looks hard.
Yeah, I just looked it up as
I-
well. It's like I don't know how you would even attempt this.
Yeah.
If we're being honest, oh my gosh.
Yeah, right. Like
Wow.
it's not.
Yeah, like we're absolutely speechless just because if you look I'm gonna try to describe
It looks
to
like a
you.
map. It's like a map of the world.
It's a
at
map
the
of
same
the world
time.
and it's like a hodgepodge of like all the like world landmarks and things like placed onto it. And in the ocean bits of it, it's just more landmarks. So there's just so much on the eyes. I feel like I would not be able to cope with this. This is very overstimulating.
I would probably get through the first corner and start crying.
Yeah. I don't even think I'd find a
Piece
corner
3, and I'd start crying.
Yeah. Do you know how much time it would take to find that piece?
Exactly. And there's so many similar pieces. This is like a mental breakdown waiting to happen.
Real.
This is like I don't even know. They need to not do this.
Exactly. How long do you think it'll take before someone out there finishes it?
I give it 24 hours. People are crazy.
24 hours?
There are people out
Someone
there.
they
that are
gotta
crazy.
sleep. Right.
Yeah, but like people out there that do that type of stuff are crazy. So like you know, like,
That's true. There are some avid puzzle
But
completers
yeah, but
out there.
this is gonna take more than 24 hours.
I don't know I don't know.
I think
You
with
would have to.
if you had access to food and like a bathroom and a bed and all that stuff and you had everything you needed, maybe 3 days.
Okay, so
4
how would
days.
somebody, I don't even think I have a room big enough in my how would one go about taking on this puzzle?
I think the classic go for the border.
I think I would go into the box and I would separate every piece to like pieces that like look similar.
Ooh.
Put them in different piles and then go from there, because then at least
That's a
you're
good
working with
technique.
things that look similar.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good one. And I also just thought of like maybe that might take longer, like trying to focus on one corner and go from one corner over. But I feel like,
but then you have to find the corner piece.
yeah, then you have to find a corner piece and like it's 1,000 pieces. Yeah, maybe not that, but I
Maybe
like
not.
your idea is good because you can see if you look at the picture, the globe part of it or like the earth part of
They're
it,
all yellow.
it's all yellow, and then the ocean part of it, there's a lot of blues happening still, even though there's a
Yeah.
lot of landmarks. So like, yeah, that's a good method.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, that's probably the only way I would go about it, but I would never actually go about
Go
it because
about it.
I would have about a mental breakdown like 10 seconds in.
You ever seen those videos on TikTok where people like do like a really big puzzle and they try to pick it up to see if it stays?
Yeah.
I really want someone to do that with this.
That would just be awful. You'd
That's
have
like-
to be ready to take it apart.
That's like equal to someone smashing like that Lego Death Star. It's like a million.
No, literally, or like you're at the beach and someone kicks over your sandcastle.
Okay.
Like literally
I've
the same thing.
I have had mental breakdowns over tiny puzzles.
Yeah, like 4 pieces.
Yeah, no. But like
Like,
maybe like
swear.
100 pieces I've definitely had mental breakdowns over. I'm not the one.
This is-
Okay.
I don't even think the entire cast of the Morning Buzz would be able to complete this in a week. Imagine we do a
The
little
entire like every day of the morning
bit
buzz.
every day,
Yeah, no,
Monday through
I-
Friday.
No.
No,
We had a puzzle in the office at one point last year.
where was it? Where is it?
It was on one of the desks. I don't
Mhm.
know where it is. I don't think we ever finished it.
You know, it happens.
And we all came in and out of the office and we still didn't finish it.
You know, it happens. We get caught up in stuff, and
does.
you know, the
Ugh.
work gets overwhelming.
The work gets overwhelming, just like the work for your mic.
Yeah,
Your mic
I
is really
know.
struggling over
My
there.
my mic don't want to be awake today.
It's
But
okay,
You know
but-
what else is really, really overwhelming?
What?
UFO sightings.
I think it's so exciting.
Yeah, I hate hearing about UFO sightings. I just want to be at peace for once.
I just want to meet an alien.
That makes one of us.
I was
You
gonna
are
say-
bugging.
I want to meet one.
I want to meet one.
No, I agree. Like it'd be interesting.
Eh?
It's really interesting to see like how they communicate, what they look like.
You know what? Let's put a pin in this conversation. Let's talk about the UFO sightings
Okay.
real quick. So, intelligent officials from the Pentagon are set to deliver to Congress a news report today on unexplained aerial phenomenons, better known as UFOs. The document from the Director of National Intelligence will provide an update to a report the intelligence agency made public back in June 2021, which explored more than 140 incidences of UAP encounters between 2004 and 2021. Despite calls of greater transparency from lawmakers and military leaders, it is not yet clear which contents of the coming report will be made public. While it could offer more detailed explanations into the surge of recent sightings, Defense Department officials are downplaying theories of alien invasions and emphasizing ordinary objects they say are more likely to blame. Military officials told the New York Times that most resolved UFO cases can be attributed to foreign spies or airborne trash. In May, during Congress's first public UFO hearing in more than 50 years, Pentagon officials testified that a video with mysterious glowing green triangles actually displayed drones that were shot through night vision lenses. In another video, referred to as Go Fast, an unknown object appeared to move at incredible speed. Military officials later debunked the video as an illusion created by the angle of observation against water, according to the New York Times. The separate incident, known as Gimbal, showed an unknown spinning object that appeared in a U.S. Navy video that military officials now say was due to the optics of a classified image sensor. UFOs? Question mark? Are there aliens out there?
Fun
Question
fact,
mark.
this is a spoiler alert. The thing spinning, the unknown spinning object, that was me. Spinning in a circle. Doing my little dancey dance.
Gabi Gimbal.
Gabi Gimbal.
Gabi Gimbal. You know, you
Yeah.
do doing a little dancey dance.
I do be doing my dancey dance.
You've
all the
reached
time.
the stars. I'm so proud of
done
you.
it.
You've done
I've done it. I don't need to dance with the stars. I am a star, a great big shining star.
But back to our conversation we were having earlier. Y'all want to meet an alien?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Okay, like you know those like TikToks where like I would show a pilgrim this video. I want to do that, but with an alien.
I would show. Oh my god! I was actually
Aliens would be so confused.
they would be so confused. I was talking about this with Aiden, my boyfriend. Literally, I asked him. I was like, "What if I think in like alien movies and sci-fi movies, we always paint aliens out to be the bad guy, right? Like, what if they want to just come here and chill?
What if
And-
they're literally like, we come in peace?
What if literally we come in peace? You know?"
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, he made a pretty decent point in saying, like, if they're coming all the way over here, like light years away, they have much more advanced technology
Mm-hmm.
that it's likely that they would want to come here to colonize, because what are the odds that we have something different for
mean,
them? But you never know.
I don't know. Maybe they just want to explore. We do that.
Yeah.
I mean, we
have people who go up to space just to explore it.
I would definitely fear them though, just because like if you have the technology to go light years away to a whole nother galaxy / planet, you are something else that I
want to
do
give them a
not-
hug.
Well, no, see, it depends. Like, if it was like an alien that looks like those like stereotypical green ones that like small, like I'd kick it. But if it was like an alien in the but if it was the alien in like the like alien movies that are like, oh man, it's like on a rampage, like yeah, no, that one's kind of scary.
What if they look like us?
Maybe, or what if they're slimy?
They're slimy. I want to hug it.
You wanna hug the slimy?
I want to hug it.
You dap up an alien?
I would dab up an alien. I would teach it how to do it.
Yeah,
Here's the thing. Have you ever seen Men in Black?
of course.
Yes.
Well, I don't know. Some people haven't.
Of course.
Some of them are kind of dope. And I would
Yeah.
love to meet some of them.
That's real.
like the little one.
Are
that
you
is,
talking
like,
about the little brown ones that look like ants?
No.
No.
The
okay.
ones that are like, maybe they look like ants. I don't know. The ones that are like have like, they're like long, but they're small. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
like-
that's what I was talking about.
They like kind of look like a snail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those ones. I would love to.
They're really skinny.
Yeah, they're so funny though.
Yeah, they're really funny. But I hope they're like that. You know, good sense of humor goes.
I'd
long
give it a
way.
hug.
You're gonna give like one that's that size a hug?
I'll give them any of them a hug.
Any hug? That's really sweet of you. You
No,
know,
I
I think you
know.
might save the planet doing that.
Did you know that? Okay, so this is something I learned in my class. Did you know? And then we can move on. Did you know that in the entire world there are like 7 facial expressions that mean the same thing all over the world?
Really?
Yes.
Do you know what they are?
There's like the anger expression, the sad expression, like smiling, all those, they all mean the same thing. Disgusted face. Maybe it's like 5. I don't remember the number. I just remember that there are so many facial expressions that mean the same exact thing throughout the world.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So then, like, when the aliens
Oh.
come, maybe they'll get it.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what I'm saying. Maybe they'll get that. Maybe they'll understand. Maybe if I smile at them, they'll be like, you know, and excited.
That's so interesting. Apparently, if you smile at a dog, it thinks you're like baring your teeth at it, and they hate that.
Oh,
But I don't know.
that makes me sad.
They think
now.
like you're growling.
Can I like at them? Can I like do a little like pouty face at them?
Maybe.
Maybe they'll be happy at that.
Maybe that's why my dog growls at me all the time.
Oh,
My dog
maybe.
an alien question mark?
Big question mark.
Big question mark.
Lots of question marks.
Especially with these flight situations as well.
We have big question marks when it comes to Alaska Airlines, okay, guys? So, Alaska Airlines flight delayed after 2 pilots have professional disagreement and refuse to fly together. Get yourselves together because I gotta travel, okay? An Alaska Airlines flight was delayed earlier this week after 2 pilots who were supposed to fly the aircraft couldn't get along. Grow up. Alaska flight AS 1080 from Washington to San Francisco was returned to the gate before taking off last week after they had their disagreement. The airline said, quote, "While this situation was unfortunate, in the interest of the safety, the pilots did the right thing. Both the captain and the first officer were evaluated by management, and it was determined they remained fit to fly. We swapped crews, and the flight continued to San Francisco. We apologize to our guests for the inconvenience this caused." End quote. Passengers who claimed to be on the flight tweeted that part of the more than 2-hour delay was due to a storm they were waiting out on the tarmac while aboard the plane. However, they said the flight was further delayed after the two pilots had an apparent argument and turned the plane around to the gate. The airline pulled a pilot from a different delayed flight to replace the pilot who walked off the plane, reported 1 mile at a time. A travel news website that first reported the pilot's argument. They better have given those guests like a coupon or something.
I feel like, I don't know, would you, if let's be pilots for a second, Gabby.
Okay.
If
Let
we
me
were
put
having-
myself into my best friend's boyfriend's shoes.
Yeah. If we were having a disagreement, would you just cancel the entire flight?
No.
I feel like
I'd be like, just don't talk to me.
yeah.
I'd
just-
be like, don't talk to me unless it's about the flight. Okay, bye. And then I would
Right.
do the flight. And then I would probably change over
to a different one.
to a different one after the
yeah.
flight.
I feel like you just wasted so many people's time.
Mm-hmm.
And just because you were having a professional disagreement or something, like, we don't know the reason why they were having a disagreement, but I think just so you could do your job, the whole point of working and being in a place of work is to collaborate with one another, even some people that you wouldn't like, like, that's
Yes.
real. So at that point, get the plane in the sky, put that thing in autopilot, and just go to your corners and pout.
Yeah, literally. Grow up a little bit. Okay.
Grow up.
Isn't, like,
Pout on your own
yeah.
time, not on others.
I know,
Like
flight-
90% of the flight just like auto.
No,
Like,
literally
they
though.
don't have to do much besides like make sure
Yeah.
it doesn't crash.
I don't
That's
know
what
if we're
I'm saying.
infantilizing pilot work or
Okay.
anything right now, but like regardless, like, dude, it's really not that deep. You can just do your job, put some
Yeah.
headphones in, and then like bada bing, bada boom.
But seriously, like deal with your problems on your own time, not on other people's precious time and money. Okay.
Exactly. These flights lately have been getting delayed like no other. We can't have
Mhm.
people just bickering and canceling flights
Yeah.
and moving flights because y'all can't get along. Other people have places to be, and it just doesn't make sense to just be like,
Yeah.
I don't like them.
I'm not taking these people.
Yeah.
It's their problem now.
Like,
Meanwhile,
what?
they're trying to get to Aunt Susie's birthday party
Exactly.
on time.
I do wonder who's going to Alaska, but
Some people.
oh wait, it's from Washington to San Francisco.
Yes.
The
I-
airline was Alaskan. yeah.
Oh, I see. I thought they were
Yes.
traveling to Alaska. I'm like,
No.
lucky.
Yeah.
Alaska's beautiful, but
I haven't been. Have you been?
no,
Oh.
I've seen posters.
You're like,
Not
it's
a-
beautiful. I've been there. Just kidding.
No,
And I don't know what she said about it other than she liked it. So
Other than-
Nice.
cool.
I just think there's a lot of daytime there.
That's true. There is a lot of daytime because of like the sun and stuff like that.
Yeah, the sun is so nice, but I guess not for everybody.
Not for
it's
everyone.
also cold.
It's not for everybody because some people like to be buried alive, apparently.
Apparently, yeah. They can't take the sunlight or anything. I don't
They're like,
know.
I'm done with sunlight. It's time to be
I'm
buried
done.
alive for $58,000 or
What-
euros.
Is that euro? No, that's not.
No,
euros.
that's not euros.
What
What is
do you
that?
have the C with the 2 dashes in it?
C with 2 money sign.
I think that's it's rubles. It's rubles.
With rubles? What's a
Yes.
ruble?
It's a Russian currency.
Okay.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, that's so funny. That's a funny name.
And why we're talking about this is because a company is offering the chance to be buried alive for 58,000 rubles. I don't know what that would be in USD.
Well, okay.
Someone look it up. But I'm going to talk about it. So, this company is based in Russia and is offering customers the opportunity to be buried alive for cost around 3,554,000 Russian rubles, which is the equivalent to 58,000. I think I
It's a
messed
pretty
up.
good steal. It's like $100 in American dollars. so.
Oh, no, shy. I feel like we got this messed up. But anyways, as a part of therapy that helps people manage their fears and anxieties, Precaded Academy says that following the burial, the team will help customers manage their quote fears and anxieties, and the experience itself was referred to as a true symbol of fighting for yourself and your own happy future by the company. The burial lasts between 20 minutes to an hour, with the coffin then passed to the client following the funeral. The burial itself is advertised as a means of renewing a person's desire to live. This package is completed with a mandatory revival, which for the customer results in an all-around revived awareness of their mission. Although customers can pay the total amount for a real burial, the company also offers an online burial for $15,000, where there's an appropriate music, candles, and clients write the will.
So they don't
actually kill
They
the person.
don't die. They just are down there long enough to experience. I'm so confused. I'm sorry. I'm like,
I'd pay $100 to get buried. And some
What?
like that's still it's $100 just to
you
don't
get
like
buried
want, like,
alive?
it's
No,
like an
no,
I don't know if you don't get
no,
experience that.
no. Literally no. I like don't. Okay, so like, you know how when people die, like they're like, oh, I'm gonna get cremated, or oh, da, 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 da. I don't know whether I want to be buried or cremated. I don't want to be cremated because I don't want to be burned, even though I'm not gonna be alive. And I don't want to be buried because that's just like scary. So like, what do they do with my body?
Real. I
Like-
do want to clarify. It was 58,000 euro. That symbol is euro. I didn't know that. I thought
Oh,
it was
it is
different.
euro?
That makes sense because $100 in Russian doesn't.
Yeah, and then it was getting sold for 3,545,000 Russian rubles, and that's the equivalent to 58,000 euros.
Okay.
What is 58,000 euros in USD? Riley, look it up.
Okay.
But I feel like I kind of understand the purpose of the mission of the company. I
I mean,
think
I do.
We're in
It's-
the millions. It's 5 million.
it's 5 million
Whoa.
Almost
rubles.
6 million. So
Big bucks.
That's a lot of money.
So I'm also like, this is a great concept, but it's also for people who can afford it, which is like what, the 1% in the
That's
country or the world. So
to manage their fears and anxieties.
because like
Yo, that would just make me more anxious.
yes,
you know what? That's fair. I would. Yeah. I don't know how that would help with anxiety.
I mean, like, I get it. It's like, you face your fears, da 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 da. But like, I'm not supposed to ever actually face that fear. The whole point is that like, I will not be alive when that happens.
No, literally, it's like I feel like I get it, right? Because if y'all have ever heard of like exposure therapy, it's really literally putting yourself in situations that make you anxious so you can get used to them and build up a tolerance and get less anxious to them.
Real.
But this is to the extreme because I have crazy death anxiety. Like
Yeah.
that really, really freaks me out.
I just
I
want to know
wouldn't.
what's beyond.
Real, that's the stuff that really makes me more anxious than anything.
Yes.
Not even I don't even think the idea of being buried would even
Yeah.
like quench that fear, for lack of
Yeah.
a better term, just because I would be like, okay, I was there, but like also what's next?
I think the whole concept of dying and then like something happening to your body is just a lot to think about. Like, what happens to my soul? Like, do I literally, is it like when I just take a nap and then I wake up and I'm like, whoa, I just took a nap for 2 hours, but like I
Real.
just never wake up? Or is it like my soul goes somewhere, or am I reincarnated, or do I just stop existing? That's the one that scares me the most, is if I just stop existing,
That's so real.
But
Yeah, I don't know, man,
It's
about
just so
this
much.
company. Who's buying this?
Like,
Like,
how do you make a company like that? Like, how do you sit down and be like, yeah, my company's gonna be buried?
where's the funding? Where was the funding
I don't-
coming from?
Where did this idea come
That's
from?
what I'm saying.
It's a company based out of Russia.
Of course, it was based out of Russia.
Yeah.
Wow,
That's
my
surprising.
mouth, my throat just like didn't want to
That's
exist.
like fascinating to me. Like they're like fighting a war and meanwhile thinking about how they can make money off of burying people for funsies.
Well, they're winning the war, so
Are they?
I think so.
Oh god.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's still going, so
It
yeah.
is still going.
But
Ugh.
wow, my brain's just like, why?
No, literally my
But
brain
then
is like,
also,
wow.
I don't want to be put in a mausoleum, because then, like, what if they knock the mausoleum down?
Don't say that.
Who?
Sorry to anybody who has family in a mausoleum.
Well-
That's what I think about, is like, what happens to me. I like when people like get made into like trees and stuff. I think that's kind of cool.
That's gorgeous. And I had a history teacher who unfortunately had to bury his brother, and his brother wanted to be a tree in
Mhm.
like some national park or something like that.
Yeah, but I also want people to look at me at my funeral, because I don't.
But
I
if
mean,
you're a tree, then they
could.
look at you every day.
That's true.
So
Like, I want them to look at
real.
my face and be like, she was so pretty.
But they can look at your tree and be like, oh my god, that's such a beautiful tree.
I know, but I want them to look at my face and then turn me into a tree.
Real.
Real. I'm the realist. Call me Iggy Azalea.
I'm the realist. Call me 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair.
Whoa,
good,
that was
right?
good. That was good.
Yeah, it was good. Because you know what? We've hit 9 o'clock, everyone.
We have done it.
and
We have hit the time.
We've hit the time. We had a really, really great show here on the Morning Buzz, here on WMSC. As per usual, it's been Tuesday. My name's Terry Dickerson, joined by my co-host Gabi Lutz,
You're
my newscaster Riley Cooper, and our sportscaster X. Catch us the rest of this week for the rest of our Buzz crew, or if you're rocking with us, we're here every Tuesday.
Catch us on the flip side.
Catch us
next
on
week.
the flip. After the top of the hour plays, I got Living on a Prayer coming on because of this.
Yes.
So have a great day, y'all, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.